that. So what was your take on the Joshua fight?
It's hard because I can see why. Like, obviously Joshua has that crossover appeal. Like, people will just watch Joshua and they want to see knockouts and they want to see blood and they want it to be some sort of Rocky movie type thing.
They want to see Big Wedge Man punch people.
Yeah. So I can see why.
You know why Sam watches him.
Big Wedge Man punch him.
A lot of people gave him some stick.
Yeah.
But
go on.
for me, fucking perfect.
Yeah, mate. Exactly the same.
The thing we basically all
exactly
kind
the
of
same.
said a similar-ish thing in the sort of build up to the fight. You definitely said it in one of the comments, but we all basically said that we knew he was cutting weight, and we knew that he was obviously going to take an approach where he was just going to outlast him and just know that he's the fitter man. You could kind of tell that was going to be what everyone could fucking see that's a fan of boxing. The biggest downside was the fact that it looked like in the build up, Ruiz had pictures of him losing weight and he looked good, and he came in like jump of the heart, mate. He was like a stone heavier than he was in his previous fight, and it was a bit disappointing from his perspective.
But we said that as well. We said he was probably gonna put on some.
I thought we put in muscle weight though, but he just looked like fat.
No, I think he had more muscle weight with it. I think for me,
but even he was saying he was like, I was out of shape, like.
Yeah, but I think
that's embarrassing though.
Yeah, but
you're the heavyweight
a part of that is like, hey, I broke my toe. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a part of that. It's just like you got to put it on something. But I think he came into it.
It's
like,
less of an excuse than because he's just basically admitted that he didn't prepare.
Properly. No. I'm not saying it's as bad as Hayes' one.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's part of that. There's a reason that I lost. It's because, but for the third fight, this is what I do, kind of thing. I don't know whether or not. I mean, it's probably on the cards eventually, but I can't imagine.
Sorry, that's exactly what I was. That was the point that Harry actually made. He's like, oh yeah, there'll definitely be a Ruiz Joshua 3. I was like, in the immediate aftermath of that, I was like, he won't be at least a year away, bare minimum. I was like, because he's got 2 mandatories to take now. Yeah. Whether he takes them both is different, but it looks like it's going to be Pulev and Usyk, doesn't it?
Well, it depends on how cooperative the two governing bodies are with each other.
Right. Well, who's Pulev? Is he IBF? I think
they called first.
And I think who's the other one? WBO. I think WBO have said to IBF that they can have dibs on the first fight, basically.
Well, WBO are the only one to officially order it, at this point, and then the IBF will follow suit.
Okay, right.
But Pulev's been mandatory longer.
And he pulled out. He was meant to fight Joshua a couple of years ago, wasn't he? I remember that.
Yeah. Again, he was mandatory. Pulled out, and Takam had to step in. And I think so. Obviously, Pulev's by So Pulev's. I didn't actually realise he was promoted by Top Rank and Bob Arum.
He's Top Rank.
Yeah.
Really?
So Bob Arum's going to obviously push to say that like Pulev's been mandatory longer. Fight like Joshua's got to fight him next.
Would you not think that the WBO would want Usyk to put that title shot off for a little bit, just so he can get more fights in the heavyweight division? Because he's only had 2, isn't he? Didn't want him to.
He's only had 1.
He just won
against Chaz Witherspoon, and he did not look great.
And who's after him now? Chisora, isn't it? Chisora wants to fight with Usyk, and so does Wyatt as well.
Well, everyone will be calling him out because they think the most likely thing to happen is the two governing bodies both won't cooperate with each other, and Joshua will be forced to vacate one of the belts. And it looks like, people think that he'll vacate the WBO so that the belt, because if he vacates the IBF, then suddenly one of the belts leaves the Matchroom umbrella. Right. Whereas at least if the belt stays with Usyk.
Oh. So at least Matchroom can organise and sort the fights.
It'll be easy. So Usyk can have the belt for as long as he wants, whatever. But then, obviously, Usyk's some fucking robotic Ukrainian man. Like, he's obviously going to want to fight Joshua anyway. It won't be hard to make. So that's why that will happen. And then, so everyone will be calling out Usyk now because they see him as the golden ticket.
To Joshua.
Well,
essentially.
Title.
Yeah. Well, you assuming that, because then that'll be the entry level into Joshua.
Yeah.
If they take that snatch out from him.
Well, because there's a lot of talk about Usyk Chisora for the vacant title.
The potential vacant title.
Yeah.
Just going back to the actual fight itself, I think I was really impressed with Joshua's performance in the actual fight. I thought it was really smart. I thought like you could see Ruiz's game plan coming into it. I mean, it's fucking.
Ruiz's game plan was essentially to do the exact same thing he did in the first fight, but planned to do it this time.
No, I don't.
He was trying to draw him into a scrap in the center of the ring, and knowing that but you could even see it when Joshua followed in, because Ruiz was a smaller fighter, the inside fighter. When Joshua was swinging, Ruiz was still getting inside and catching him, and a lot of Joshua's fights have come around the back, and that's how we knew he could get in and.
Yeah, but Ruiz is like more of a counter fighter anyway, so you'd expect him to trade blows coming in. The thing that I was going to say that's really difficult is, like, I have a lot of respect for Ruiz for doing it because I've tried to do it and it's really fucking hard. But if you're walking into a fight, so you're pushing your opponent back, and that's what Joshua did. Like Joshua wasn't
stayed on the outside.
Joshua wasn't forcing Ruiz around the ring. Ruiz was walking down Joshua. To be a counter fighter and walking in requires such a fucking high level of skill, because you're consistently putting yourself into their range, especially because Joshua's got better range. You're putting yourself into their range, and then you're having to throw stuff to get them to return it, to then land back in with a counter, which is fucking mad. Like the technical level is really fucking difficult.
Yeah.
But I thought he did a really good job at it. I thought the only thing for me is once it didn't start working, I think it was 4-8. I think it was round 4, round 8. I think 11 and 12. I think are the only ones that I could argue maybe. I think I had Ruiz at round 4, Ruiz at round 8. The rest of them I had as Joshua.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I gave 2 to Ruiz.
Yeah, and the last 2 you could kind of argue, but I feel like Joshua probably still won them.
Yeah.
And then, but like that kind of fight is really difficult. And when I think Ruiz was waiting for the payout, because a few times he walked in, he took a couple whacks. I mean, don't get me wrong, he traded quite well a few times as well. But in round 4 and round 8, he caught Joshua quite well with some good combinations, and it looked like it was starting to form into more of a scrap. And I thought it was really impressive by Joshua after being hit and starting to go into that bit of a scrap.
To then pull yourself out.
Yeah, to then actually...
The game
he showed
to
a lot of discipline.
Yeah,
you could tell
fucking lot of discipline.
Especially that last round, and Ruiz, you saw him trying to goad him into the scrap. And he was just like, he was happy just for the bell to go and be like, I'll just stand here and fucking throw the left, just jump with the left the whole time. But Joshua, for me, and I was fucking super impressed with him, actually. Number one, obviously, where you could tell he'd lost weight. Like, he did, not just because of the scales, he looked skinnier.
Yeah, he looked like an athlete rather than a bodybuilder.
His waist was like slimmer. So where obviously he's still muscular, but he had more of a triangle shape. But he boxed so much better, and so much quicker, and so much lighter on his feet, that I would actually prefer him to be at that weight for future fights, because I think he looked like a better boxer and more like an athlete. Whereas he didn't just like he was going to come in and steamroll for. I
do think part of that though is, I think that's more to do with the game plan than the weight of him, because I think you could have kept him at his weight for his last fight, and if they had worked on that game plan, he probably would have. But I think that exactly that you could do the same. You fucking completely threw me off, dickhead.
Sorry.
Yeah, what you're saying is he could be 17-10, and if he
if he stuck
the whole
to that
thing was
he was always going to be the fitter man, regardless of what weight Joshua came in at. Coming at his career heaviest, he's still going to be the lighter and quicker man.
Yeah, for the first fight, it wasn't anything fundamentally wrong with him. It was just mistakes. Like in the first fight, you could see Joshua. Like Ruiz wants to have the centre of the ring.
Yeah.
And in the first fight, Joshua did as well. So that's where they were meeting in the middle, having the scraps and stuff.
Yeah.
For this fight, Joshua was like, okay, cool, Ruiz is going to take the centre of the ring. It's fine, I'll just run around the outside of him.
Yeah. And I've got such superior reach to him, he's going to have to walk into me to have that scrap.
And then, you're right, the discipline in what he did, in terms of there were points where you could see that, like, there could have been potential for throwing arms and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But then Joshua was like, I don't need to do this. I've got 6 rounds in the bank already, but I'm just popping him off.
He was just so light on his feet. Like, he just
there was a couple of times.
So
the only thing I think Joshua did wrong, and it didn't really amount to anything, was sometimes when he tried to like grapple Ruiz.
Yeah.
He got one arm and then didn't quite get the other one.
Yeah.
So then at the first attempt, so then Ruiz was getting a couple of
I spotted that.
shots on his hits on the inside. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said that when he's coming close, a lot of his arms are just going around the back of his head, and he wasn't adjusting himself to punch down and inwards.
Yeah, but
like that.
I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think. I think the reason that he wasn't trying to make that adjustment is because he wasn't. That would go against his game plan because then he is trying to fight Ruiz on the inside.
Yeah, true.
I think his thing was to clinch. There was one of the commentators. I can't remember. There was a few commentators that were fucking retarded, or like comments especially that were really bad. But the one that I watched it went from Turkish commentators to English commentators to Finnish to something else. And I'll be honest, it was actually quite enjoyable watching it in other languages because I didn't have to listen to it. But yeah, there was one point where one of the guys was saying, "Oh yeah, he's looking a lot more like Klitschko, like Joshua," and I was thinking, like, don't get me wrong, he's doing a really good job. He's showing a lot more discipline, and he's given a much better fight. It's the kind of fight that he needs to give. But I still think it would take a while before you could say like that level. Because like one of the things that the Klitschko's is really well, like with Joshua being the bigger man, was to when they clinch, they would clinch and lean over the top. So when you're leaning over the top, even if you haven't fully wrapped that one arm, it's all that weight is then, and that's effort to then push it off every time and to hold it up when the person's coming in with that weight.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a fantastic fight. I was really, really impressed by Joshua, really happy for him to win it that way. There's a couple points that he traded and he looked like he wanted to go further. And I kept thinking to myself, please don't do this. Please don't do this.
You could literally see the spark in his eye being like,
yeah.
No, wait.
You know he wants to do it. And to be fair, he hasn't really addressed any concerns over his chin since the last fight at all. Like
there was a couple he took a bit of a wobble on.
I don't think there was no sustained pressure against him. I don't think not for any longer than a couple, 1 or 2.
Yeah, but that's fine because when I said I was talking about his chin, it's not the only way that you could test it was purely being his chin is having someone physically stand there smacking into his chin, and sooner or later, man, like anyone will get knocked out from that. What I liked was the fact that he took the hit. It looked like it put him to a bit of a wobble, but then he still kept his distance, kept his clinching, and kept it clean enough that he could defend himself.
He didn't panic and try to. He's think, "I'll quick take some lumps out of him. If he gets put down, I'll have a break."
Yeah, I think he looked smarter in his defences even after taking harder whack.
As much as I don't rate Wilder, I still am concerned about that fight simply because he can just get one time banged in the face by Wilder, and I hate that. And I can't stand the fact that Wilder can do that to people because I think he's a shit boxer.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Do you not? Do you think?
I think he's a shit boxer. Yeah, he's a shit boxer, mate. Like when I was watching Ortiz. Bear in mind, I've watched like his last 3 fights. Watching fight Ortiz was embarrassing, mate. Bear in mind, Ortiz is 40 years old, allegedly. Like, no one knows how fucking old that geezer is, right? And he was getting. Yes, he has knocked him out twice, but he was getting comfortably outboxed by a much older man. And
I see what you're saying, but on the flip side,
it's all. My point was because I had this argument with someone on Facebook. It's all well and good that he's got the knockout power, but what if someone comes in that has a knockout power against him, but is also a superior boxer at the same time?
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Because Joshua, because I was having this discussion last week, and I said that Fury could lose the rematch. I was like, Wilder doesn't want it with Joshua because Joshua's got the ability and the knockout power. Fury's got plenty of ability, but he's never been a knockout artist. He's always been a game plan. He's always kept his distance, kept the jab well. But Joshua can do both. The only concern for Joshua in that fight is that, similar to Ruiz, he gets goaded into a scrap and then gets knocked out by Wilder. Because Wilder can take a punch and he can throw a punch. He just can't fucking box well.
Yeah.
I don't actually.
He looks awful, mate. In terms of an orthodox style of boxing, awful, and watching other boxers, and then you watch him and you think, do you practice boxing or do you just practice
in terms of his game plan?
Brawling?
Yeah, but
he did exactly.
That's what I'm saying. He's only got. What happens when you disarm that weapon? He's not had a fight where someone's been able to disarm that one bang. What if he goes into a fighter that can do that to him?
But
in my opinion,
he's been in with Fury and Ortiz. Like they're the two technically best boxers in the division. So,
but again, Fury,
no one can do it.
Fury 2 fights back from a heavy layoff. Ortiz old. I was like, and trust me, I reckon now that his next fight, if he'll go against Fury, I reckon he could potentially win that. I was like, he doesn't chase Joshua after that. I reckon he chases the fight with Ruiz, just to prove point. Because whoever Joshua can beat, I can beat, and that'll be what he does until he gets to a point where he's like, I can't avoid it any longer, and then he'll go, oh, I was old, that's why Joshua beat me.
I don't know. I don't know about all that and what his next plans are.
He's got Wyatt at some point.
Yeah, I think he avoids AJ for as long as he can, and then come towards the end of his career, he'll be at 36, 37 before that fight happens. Josh will still be at a good age because he's only just turned 30. And Wilder will be 36, 37 years old, and then if he does lose, he'll be like, oh, well, I was towards the end of my career, so Joshua couldn't have beaten me at my prime. He'll say that, and it's just, for him, it's just laying it off as long as he can, and then...
I think I know what you mean about, like, he comes in with a set game plan and the game plan works.
Yeah, he lost the rounds, but he was like, do you honestly believe in his corner they were being like, no, Wilder, you need to like shape it up, you're losing rounds.
I reckon in that first Ortiz fight and in that and the Fury fight, I reckon, yeah.
But I think
mate, it was round 10 and he was comfortably losing against Fury. They basically said to him, you've got to knock him down to get points here. You have to.
Yeah, but Fury, yeah, maybe. Ortiz, he lost 6 rounds, cool, comfortably. You cannot give Wilder a round. I think some of the judges did, but they're retarded.
Just, corruption in some of the judges of boxing is just
woeful. Cannot give Wilder a round, but his plan, in terms of orthodox boxing, like the whole having a guard, jabbing, whatever, looking good, in terms of...
Are you talking about Ortiz too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my argument is, at that point, he's already fought him. He's like, I know I can knock him out now, so he's going to be wary of that punch. If I can let him come in and fight exactly how he was going the first time, because he probably believes that I've just been caught with a punch. Ortiz, like, I got caught with a punch, I knew I outboxed him, I'll go and do it next time, he won't be so lucky. Whereas Wilder knows now, he's like, yeah, but he's going to come and do the same thing because he thinks he's better. I'm just going to one bang him again. That's exactly what happened. And I think there's going to become a point where he's going to find someone he can't just one bang, or someone's going to be so significantly superior and athletically at the same level as him, not a 40-year-old boxer at the end of his career, that he's going to lose a fight. The best 2 fighters he's fought is Ortiz and Fury, and you can't really argue that. You go through his whole backlog, and he's fought shit fighters, garbage fighters, and it's just those two. And Fury was just come back from massive layoff, and Ortiz is old. I reckon AJ probably outboxes and potentially knocks out Ortiz as well. Personally.
Yeah, I think you're both. I think you can both be right on this one though. Yeah. Because like I don't think like Wilder is not. If you wanted your kid to go train in a club, you wouldn't send him to Wilder's club because he's not going to show your kid the technique and the ability.
Yeah, no, technically in terms of what he's.
But what I'm saying is, I think you're still right with it. I don't think he's got. No one has an interest in teaching him the boxing basics and slipping the punches.
But my argument is, as long as he in them first 6 rounds of Ortiz 2, his whole thing was just, as long as I just don't get hurt, then it's fine.
Yeah, but I agree with you on that. That is exactly what his plan was.
Because there were points where he was literally, like Ortiz was coming in and he was literally backing off like that almost. Like
but I saw
palms up, backing off.
He leaves his hand in like that because he knows how long his arms are. He's leaving his arm in just to keep him outside of his circle.
Yeah, because he was just backing off, and then he was like, "Okay, cool. Well,
what's he going to do? Punch my arms? Like,
if I just reset by doing this for 3 seconds, and then come again, like, and then when the round ends, he's fine. Like his trainers would not have been telling him to do anything other than carry on.
No, I don't.
His whole thing was just round 1 done, round 2 done, round 3 done. It's cool. Every time you could just. All his attitude is, I've just got another 3 minutes to just knock this cunt out.
Yeah. Essentially, he's just he's keeping him away, analysing, seeing what he does when he goes to throw in a big punch. And as soon as he goes to do it, he goes wham, back, and hits him. As soon as he sees an opening, that's all he does in every fight.
He is a one-trick pony, but that one trick.
Yeah, he knows his trick fucking well.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as at some point he's going to come up against someone that he can't do that against, and that's going to be it for him. Because then at that point he's got nothing to fall back on.
I know what you mean. The only problem with that is when your one trick is a knockout punch in a heavyweight division, it's a fucking good one trick. Because I mean, we've said this before though. I'll probably be disproved by someone, but you couldn't do what Wilder does comfortably in other weight classes.
No way, no.
I don't think
you couldn't consistently go into every single title defense and go bang knockout in every single one. You just couldn't.
So I feel like this is the place for him. I mean, maybe in some of the other the heavier weights, you might be able to get away with it, but certainly going into the lightweights, that's not a realistic fight plan. Yeah. But I mean, we've always said that as well. Like,
because no one,
if you're looking for technical skill, look at the lighter weights because the technical ability down there is so much better.
This is the whole thing of like Wilder's the only one, in my opinion, who has one punch knockout power. Yeah, like Joshua doesn't really have that.
Yeah, Joshua's got superb power, but not. Yeah, he's not. He's not just going to come in like he did against Wilder did against Brazil and just go bang, the end, one round. Yeah,
game the only one.
Joshua will rock you and then you'll back off and then he'll just start pounding your face.
With Fury, like obviously looking at it, there are two ways to beat Wilder: outbox him for 12 rounds, or knock him out. Right?
Yeah.
And that might sound dumb, but go with me, because you can take rounds off Wilder.
Yeah.
Anyone can take rounds off Wilder.
Yeah, that's fine. But you've got to go 36 minutes in with the right hand of Deontay Wilder. So far, no one, including Tyson Fury, who is the best heavyweight in the world, has been able to avoid it.
Speaking, yeah.
No one's been able to avoid getting hit hard by that right hand.
Mm.
Yeah, but I wonder what stops you, because I wonder if you'd be smarter with going with a game plan, so that not going in defensively, but I wonder. You'd have to find someone. I guess Ruiz is a good example of someone who's going to be pushing forward and going aggressive with it. But I wonder what your chances are of finding someone who tries to open themselves up for that hit, and then try and make work off of it.
Base him into it, basically.
Yeah, because if you look, like the swinging bit of him coming forward and charging in is, by far and away the most likely time that he's going to be coming in and landing that hit, and that is him going flat out. That's his hardest hit.
Do you know who he reminded me of? Wilder is like a heavyweight, better version of KSI. Remember KSI just some big, wild swings? That's exactly what he's like.
Yeah.
And the reason I said about I'd prefer Joshua to come in at that weight, that slimmer thing against Wilder, is because, like I said, if he gets caught with the right hand, he's probably going to get knocked down anyway. So he's better off being quicker and lighter and winning the rounds and potentially doing damage that way than trying to knock Wilder out. Because you know what I mean? It's not been done yet, so he's going to help. He might as well try and outbox him.
It's really difficult. I was going to say, because one of the things you can do for me is it's not ideal, but you can punch and kick top of the arms, because that really quickly fucking kills
Joshua, kick
legs.
him. Wait, what?
But I was going to say, but it's really fucking difficult, because in my head now I'm just racking around trying to figure out different ways that you could break down what he's doing.
So obviously Fury going in February 22nd, Fury is not going to knock him out. So Fury knows. No. Fury's not dumb. He knows he's going to have to go 36 minutes in the ring with that right hand.
Fury's not got that enough power to knock out Wilder.
No,
he's just not that guy.
But the thing that I always
don't get me wrong. Obviously, if Wilder leaves his chin hanging, then he'll get.
That's what I was going to say. That's the thing.
But anyone in the heavyweight division, you've got these big guys punch each other. If you leave yourself open, you get punched. So you're going to get knocked out.
What I'm saying is there is a chance of it, but it's not going to happen.
It's not Fury's game, and Fury's not the heaviest hitter in the game.
No,
because I think the difficulty with like a one trick like that is sooner or later someone's going to find a way of closing it down.
Yeah,
it's either going to be the right person who's going to do it, and then that's going to steal enough of Wilder's confidence that he's not going to be able to do it in the same way that he wants, or it's going to be like, you got football and like Barcelona start playing tic-tac football, and then someone else has got to come up with someone else, or then you've got wide wingers, and then you've got to match them with your own wide.
Eventually, sooner or later, find a bogeyman, or someone's going to figure him out, and everyone's going to start figuring him out. One of the two.
I don't.
I
don't know if that will happen until he gets older and drops off a little bit.
But he's not exactly young anymore. And he's avoiding that fight with Joshua.
But when you say about age and shit, because of what he does. If he was a really technically skilled boxer, who's relying on his twitch moves, relying on winning the games on point, winning the rounds on points and stuff like that, I'd say fair enough. The older he gets, the more he's going to be struggling. But if he relies on a one trick where he's coming in over the top and landing a big knockout punch, he could comfortably, as you say, lose 6 rounds. The amount of energy and exertion that he's going to be putting out compared to his opponent is minimal. Well, I mean, it's absolutely minimal. He could be a 40-year-old man, still come over the top with that one and still land it.
I was going to say, he's 34, which is, for most boxers, coming towards the end of your career. And don't get me wrong, there's obviously exceptions for all of there's like very old fighters. I think Pule's quite old, isn't he? 37?
Yeah, Pacquiao's 40, but...
Yeah.
41 or something.
But him being a light heavyweight has helped prolong his career a little bit, because he's not carrying around that much weight. He's not having to exert himself as much in fights.
He's not been in any bad fights either.
No.
Yeah, he hasn't been.
No one's ever really hurt him.
Well, that's the other thing that I was going to say about you guys. Like, you're saying Fury wouldn't knock him out, and I know what you mean. If the chin was there, Fury could. But
Fury's
he doesn't have to
not going to knock him out. Fury knows he's got to win that final point.
Yeah, no, and I get
Fury
all that.
doesn't want to get knocked out. That's the way that fault.
I get all that, and I'm not saying that Fury's going to come in swinging like Wilder, like trying to go for it. But that's the other thing that I was going to say is I'm really curious as to what happens when Wilder takes a couple big whacks. Because at the minute, because everyone's in fear of the hands coming over the top, but actually, what happens when you put him then back on the back foot?
I want to see him get undone and see how he reacts.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, what
Ortiz hurt him a bit in the first fight. There was a point in I think it was the 8th round where like he could have got, like, the fight could have got stopped. Realistically,
but has he been dazed? Like, you know, when Joshua took that left from Ruiz and he was wobbling, and it's so noticeable. He's not had that yet.
No.
And I want to see that. It might just be because the guy's got an unbelievable chin.
Yeah,
it could be, but we don't really know that yet. So
Brazil even in the about 10 seconds before he got sent to another dimension.
An out-of-body experience.
Well, that's the thing, because as I was saying, like, one of the game plans is to beat him on points, and that's easy in the sense you can take the rounds, but you've got to go 36 minutes. Whereas what Brazil was trying to do was trying to fuck him up first.
Yeah,
and
Brazil was not the right man to do that.
Well, no, like he landed a punch or whatever. Wilder just does what he does, steps back a little bit and tries to reset everything, and then when Brazil came in again, bang, end off.
My point about Joshua, I think, and the reason I personally think that Wilder is avoiding Joshua and will continue to as long as the WBC will let him do it, is that Joshua is the well-rounded fighter that he's avoiding, because he's fought technically good fighters, he's fought people that have got good punches, but he's never fought someone in the middle. And that's where Joshua lies. I don't think he wants that smoke, mate, from someone who has the potential to do both.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he can knock out Joshua, and I'm not denying that.
Yeah, but of course
he doesn't want that. Joshua's the best mix of.
Of course he doesn't, because if he did, would have had the fight by now. Like, of course he doesn't. Like, we know that he doesn't, for whatever reason. But
that's the thing. The zone offering him £100 million, like,
because he knows he can lose that fight. That's why.
But why? Like,
and the thing is, he takes on fights of people. His two biggest fights, like we said, have been Ortiz and Fury. And he takes them on at a time where he's feeling good or they're feeling bad. Knows he can knock them out, then happily accepts a rematch because he knows he can do it. I don't think it just seems like he wants to go around knocking out people or fighting people that Joshua hasn't or has, and prove that he can do what Joshua isn't doing without actually fighting Joshua. That's kind of seems what Wilder's game plan is, to say, yeah, but Joshua hasn't fought Fury and fucking, gone 12 rounds with him like I have. It's like, yeah, but just fight him, dickhead. Yeah. But I think to solve the argument.
But the actual fight itself, I was really impressed with Joshua. I thought he did a really good job. I thought it was really sensible, really clinical, and really disciplined. I thought he did. There was a couple times that I did think to myself, you're not responding quick enough to what Ortiz is doing.
Ruiz, you mean?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I keep doing it. I kept doing it as well when I was going for him.
But
South Americans, mate.
But I mean, you're not talking like an easy fighter to overcome. If it was easy to react to what Ruiz is doing, he wouldn't be where he is today.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, again, why he was getting stick.
Guy.
At the end of the day, like, if you take away everything that we know about, like, the two personalities, someone's gone in, the challenger's gone in and out-schooled the world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
If you knew nothing about boxing, you just presented someone that fight and said, this dude's a heavyweight champion, he holds 3 belts. And then turned around and said, this is his challenger. And
realistically, you on the scorecards, you can only give him 2 rounds. Like, any other...
One judge gave him 1.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't really sit and be like, oh, that's rigged.
Yeah.
Like, but okay, fair enough. Like, each their own. But yeah,
I think you definitely got to give Ruiz the 8th.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah. He wins the 8th all day.
Yeah, and I think there was the 4th as well.
Yeah,
like
I think I gave it to him in the 4th, but I think it's because
it was the first active round for him, kind of.
Yeah, but I similar to you, I like to reward aggression because it's a far more difficult thing to do.
Well, he's one of the. There's a few there's like 4 subjects that they judge on, isn't it? And one of them is.
But I mean, like, I'm more likely to reward aggression than other stuff. Like, I know I've got a bit of a bias for it, but I do. But I think so. I wanted to give him that, but the 4th, it wouldn't surprise me if you went the other way. But he won the 4th for me.
Yeah.
And then the closest other than that would be the 11th or 12th, and I don't think he won them. But that's like the closest. Yeah. Like you couldn't say.
Pass me those munchies, please. It's not much, is it?
And on the undercard as well, Dillian White looked
Terrible.
off.
Yeah, he started the first round strong. He came in, he was up for a scrap, and he was chucking them heavy hits. And I turned around to people I was watching it with, and I said, "It's like he's going to knock him out in 6 rounds here." And then it just went flat. Immediately went flat. It was such a dead fight.
Wack's a hard guy to look good against, but he's getting to a point where people are knocking him out. I just really hope that he comes in better for his next fight, because obviously he's had all the shit going on, and finally that's been put to bed. Like, UKAD have officially come out and said that he's not a drugs cheat.
What was the adverse findings? Because they basically shafted him out of a title fight because of that.
Well, again, that's the whole fucking shit, man. Like, the WBC have just they're anti-white.
Yeah,
Corrupt fuck.
They don't report to UKAD.
Don't they?
No.
Well, fuck. So they've gone out their way to get an opinion from UKAD about something.
Well, obviously, because his fight took place in the UK with Rivas, UKAD have the final say. Where White and Rivas both signed up to VADA, if they fail a VADA test, then VADA will publicise that everywhere, and it will be up to the British boards to sanction a fight, or the WBC to pull the fight or something. But the WBC only reports to VADA, and Dillian White passed every single VADA test.
I wonder what they found.
Yeah.
What they said they found.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but I can only imagine it would be something like either contaminated food, or maybe like, what you can get some, like, if you have like eczema or something, some of the creams have like steroids in, don't they?
Loads of shit,
yeah, that's quite common.
Even standard nasal sprays normally have a
That's
steroid.
exactly what I was about to say. Billy Joe Saunders had it, didn't he? With something, and it was because I use it every day. Allergy spray for my nose, and people.
The thing is,
but it's alright in the UK, but in the US, it's whatever it is in the nasal spray. They're like, no, you can't have it because you, for whatever reason. But over here, apparently, they let you have it.
Yeah, because I did actually read the report. It was like the fact that he did VADA testing helped him out, because there were 2 VADA tests in between. I think it was like 3 days either side. That this UKAD one where there was the little blip, and they had a look at them VADA tests, or Dillian White provided them. And they said, look, like, I was clear 3 days before. There were these minimal traces, and then I was clear 3 days after. Like,
yeah,
it's obvious I was.
If you take something, there would have been much higher levels either side of that. Not minimal traces either side.
Yeah, so I don't know whether they come out and said it was potentially because of contaminated food or contaminated something. It was just a minor thing.
Can even be contaminated samples.
Be fucking anything. It could really be anything.
Alright,
We'll stop it there for
boxing. Go into politics.